Hi, everybody. This is Steve Olson, and I have one of our old friends, Alex Lujan, on today. Hey, Alex, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself, brother?
Doing good, man. Alex and I have been through the psychedelics wars together, haven't we,
Oh
Alex?
yeah. Oh yes, we have been up there, up and down, but we're still here.
We're still kicking, man, and a lot of that has to do with the support that we get from the subscribers that are subscribed both to you and me. I know we share subscribers, right?
Yes,
And
we do.
that watch us both, and we just want to take a minute and thank you guys for supporting us through
Yes.
then because God knows we've been trolled to death, haven't we, Mr. Lujan?
Yeah. Oh yes, we have. I mean, shoot, we've been up and down. I think we even been into the ringer a couple of times.
Yeah, right. A couple times it was almost
Yeah.
we were just about ready to be flushed down, and we stood back up again, right?
Yep.
So anyway, hey, listen, I wanted to, Alex runs a channel, and he's out in California, and Alex does a lot of his. If you haven't been familiar with his work, I'll have his channel below so that you guys can link to it and go check out some of his videos. But like many, like in Alex's grouping, like these 2,000 to 5,000 subscriber channels are getting probably even more blowback right now with the YouTube shutdown than even a WSO gets. Would you say, Alex?
Yes. Yep.
So what are you facing right now? Increased upload times, sometimes not even able to upload videos getting blocked. Are you getting in all that stuff lately?
Yeah. My main favorite one is you have no internet connection.
Turn you off, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's mine. So after a while, you just get tired of don't want to upload video. So you like say, you know what, I'm gonna see if you can sneak one in, and then all of a sudden you just get your video uploaded. And you're like, yeah, I got it in.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. So, what are people out there in California seeing and talking about these days, Alex? Give us
Well,
a feel for what people in your area are talking about these days.
now everyone's okay. Let's put it this way: everyone now they're starting to recognize these earthquakes that are happening more frequently now. More now. And
Yep.
not only that, they're starting to see that the weather, as the way the weather is now. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Over here, it varies. It's cold, hot, cold, hot. Sometimes at night it's hot. Sometimes at night it's cold. So everyone's starting to know that there's something going on. But the main thing is where we have a place. It's called Bass Lake. It never snows there. It snowed over there, and when it snowed over there, a lot of people are starting to realize what's going on. And I tell everybody it's because we're going through a wobble right now. The tilt, Earth, Earth right now is she's sick right now. She's going through some tantrums. That's why I basically try to tell them, and they're like, we kind of believe you, but you know, they just say that it's basically normal. And I tell them, look at the sky. I go, when have you seen the sky so gray like this? I go, this is what you consider chemtrails, and they don't want to believe in chemtrails.
No, and I just took the screen for a second,
Yeah.
Alex. Take it back here in a second. I just want to illustrate what you're talking about. Okay, so here's the global kind of map, right, of wind speeds and things like that, right? This is surface winds right now. And if you look, you'll see it's this constant cyclonic. I'm not saying it's a cyclone, but I'm saying the cyclonic action just keeps just kind of muscling around this North American area, right?
Yeah.
It almost feels like to me, and again, I'm just speculating, right? Looking at the temperatures now for a second, right?
Yeah.
That it almost feels like the North Pole itself is an oblong shape. This goes back to something we talked about a couple months ago when we were looking at the way the sun. We actually were able to match the shape of this cold spot on the top of the Earth with the kind of oblong orbit of the Earth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So as we're tilting more away from the sun, that's what I think anyway, Alex, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it too. But
Well,
it feels like we're tilting more and more away from the sun in the northern hemisphere.
well, okay. The way I agree with you that we are tilting, and I believe we're tilting more. Don't want to alarm anybody or make everybody think this, but they're going to start realizing this after a while. We're tilting more down south.
Yeah. Okay.
We're tilting way more down to the south. And in my perspective, if we were to go, say, let's just say a 28 to a 26-degree tilt, we would be somewhere where Australia is at or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying. So, but see, still if you just look at this with me though, this is the same shape of the kind of the polar vortex that we've seen all year long, and it's not subsiding. And so what we're seeing in Wisconsin, Minnesota, the area that I live in right now, is unusually cold weather. Very cold. Very unusual. All right.
Yeah.
So, we're used to, farmers planting their crops right now, and it's still snowing. We're going to get another 2 inches of snow tonight.
Exactly the same way over here. There's people like to plant their tomato, lettuce, and all this stuff right now, but they can't right now because of the way the weather is. In some places,
some people would ask, well, Steve, Alex, and we just assume because you and I are old hats at this, right? We've been talking about this for years, right?
Yeah.
But let me ask you, as like pretending like I'm a novice, right? Why is it important for me to know, why is bringing up weather phenomenon important to a Planet X observation, Alex?
Why? Because in the beginning, we have never seen any type of this weather, the way this weather has been. And if you were to go back into, how you say, records, ancient times, they will talk about all this other phenomenon that they witnessed is what we're seeing now. So if you want to, like they say, if you want to go back, find out what's going to happen in the future, you always have to go back in the past and see what's happening. So when you read what happened in the past, you see what's happening now. Not only that, you got to realize there's other places right now that are seeing different weathers that they're not used to seeing.
Why would I see weird weather on the planet though? Because of a planet approaching, Alex. And again, I'm playing.
Because number one is because of the our how you call magnetics, our magnetosphere. I can't hardly say that word right. Excuse me.
I know, right? There's a couple words that I have problems with that.
Like, it has to do with our magnetosphere.
Yep.
Has to do mainly more with our magnetosphere, because if our magnetosphere is getting pulled in a different way, that's basically excuse me. That's basically telling us that there's some type of magnetic how to say source somewhere back there pulling our magnetosphere, and this is how all the gamma rays, UVs, all this gets sneaked in, because as soon as this breaks down, all that gets in.
Right. Let me show everybody. Maybe this will help to explain it too. And again, I don't mean to go back to basics. A lot of you guys have heard and seen this stuff before, right? I mean, so this is kind of old news to you. But if you're new to this stuff, right, it would be hard for you to understand why we're always talking about the weather all the time, right? And so let me take a shot at it here, and let's do this. I got a picture that I want to show everybody. I'm trying to get it to load up here. And I think what's happening is it's getting hid behind your screen, Alex. That's what happened, Alex. It's your fault.
How's that my fault?
Because.
Hey, everything's always my fault. I'll take the blame.
Just stay with that. It works. It works. So anyway, here's a couple of screenshots I want to show everybody of exactly what Alex was talking about. And when you look, one of the first ones we look at here is the thing that we've been noticing. This is work that's been done by a subscriber, is that the Earth's tilt can be seen on these models, right? You can actually see the Earth being pulled sideways when it's supposed to be completely vertical here on this page. What we've discovered is, as we've looked at this model over time, that the Earth is indeed being pulled sideways through space right now. So
I really don't think it's the whole. I don't think it's only the Earth. I think it's the whole solar system getting pulled sideways.
Where you really can see this is if you just go out like tonight, guys, or even tomorrow night, if you get a moon, when you get that half moon, right, that nice perfect half moon, that should be perfectly vertical when you see it in the sky. It's not going to be vertical, guys. It's going to be at like 25 degrees, 26 degrees. What does that mean? Well, it means that we're tilting, or the moon is, or both. Alex?
My opinion really more is that the moon and sun stay in their orbit. We're the ones that actually moving.
I think so too. And I think we're getting pulled by an outside force. And I think that's what is shown in these magnetic field. And again, the question was that we think that the electromagnetic fields and space weather affect Earth weather. And that's why we think it's important to the Planet X discussion, right?
Yeah, well, you got to realize when you start seeing red iron oxide dust come in our atmosphere that we never seen before, where red iron oxide dust coming from? It's one main thing you have to start looking at, and then you start looking out in space when you start reading about space weather and that coming in. That's when you start saying, okay, You know, something out there is bringing it in here. So this is where you start getting all your you studying the weather, the patterns of the magnetosphere, you know, all that. This is where everything ties in.
Now I'm going to show this one, and then I'm going to turn the screen back to you, Alex, and we'll keep going. But what you see here, this is in the model, right? It actually shows one of the satellites in orbit here. And this blue line, guys, I want to draw everybody's attention to this blue line, right? This weird, strange, unusual blue line. That's called an IMF line. That's the line that connects us to the sun, okay? Something's dramatically wrong with that right now, okay? This is not a normal IMF. This shows that there's a conflict going on, that there's a tug of war going on over Earth right now. Alex?
I agree with you. Matter of fact, you can see it right here too.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to go ahead and stop, and you go ahead and take the screen back, Alex, and we'll start looking at some of your stuff. But I just wanted to point that out, that when Alex talks about electromagnetics, we've got weird electromagnetic energy around the Earth right now, guys, and we can prove it. So, I mean, we show evidence. It's not good enough just for you to pop in and troll and say, that's just ridiculous. Tell me where our science is wrong. Alex?
I agree with you. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. What I'm showing you here right now is, I believe, some of the stuff that we're seeing by our sun has to be nothing but lens array. I say all lens array technology. The reason why I say that is because I got a subscriber who sent me this couple photographs, and all what I have to say is, what the heck are these?
And that's not the first time we've seen these things. I mean, I think that, you know, you and I have been watching the Alaska cams for a long time, and shout out to Universal News and a couple other folks that are looking at those cams, right?
Yep.
But we've been looking at those cams for, you and I, for at least 3 years now. And you and I have been talking about those cams with each other for 3 years now.
Yes.
Many of the things that we see rotate like a planet, right? Those seem to me like our cosmic objects. But then there's a whole nother set of objects that we see that seem to be fixed in one place in the sky, geosynchronous, right?
Yes.
I think that's what you're talking about right now, that a lot of the times we're seeing pieces of the lensing system of a system that's put up there to manipulate sunlight, right?
Yes.
I mean, what else is it? What else could it be?
Well, it's an artificial light for them to basically right now for me, the artificial light is there for 3 reasons. Number one, to give us light for us not to see eclipse happening, actually constantly eclipse happening every day. Second is, you know, is to help out supposed solar. I say those solar, for people who use those solar panels.
Solar enhancement. Yeah. So
solar enhancement.
Yep.
This is one reason why, and the other reason why too is to portray that we do have a sun.
Right, that our sun is not, well, I still think we have a sun. Remember that, let's look at this, but let's look at that picture we were looking at in our pre-call, and a couple of those pictures, right?
Hold on, before we go there, how about that right there?
Right.
In my opinion, I have to say it's mainly more someone who probably took it behind glass, but they swear they didn't. The reason why I give them the benefit of the doubt is because this object is behind clouds.
Clearly behind the clouds.
Yes, that's the reason why I give them the benefit of the doubt. Let me see if I can find that photograph again that we were. Yeah,
but you know what's interesting about this conversation, though, Alex, is that 2-3 years ago, we never saw anything like that, ever.
No.
We would have been flipping out if we saw that 3 years ago. Now it's like we see it every day.
Yep.
These big, huge, shadowy orbs that seem to block the sun and seem to direct, like the ones that we were looking at on WSO a couple days ago, where we actually saw a huge lens-looking thing in the sky. I know, guys, it's bizarre. It's completely freaking crazy what we're talking about, but that's what we're observing.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to talk to your subscribers, unless your subscribers know, is I'm not debunking Nibiru. I believe it's out there. I believe it is and all. But yep. my opinion is we're actually seeing we're actually seeing our actual sun with our sun simulator.
That's also my opinion as well. And we see this in multiple videos that we get. And I know you get them too, where they'll see the light in the sky, like the one on the right, that blobby light that you're showing there on the right.
Yes.
And you'll see the blobby light, and then you'll see a disc behind it, right?
Yeah.
I believe, and I think you believe too, that the one on the right is the sun simulator.
Yes, I believe so.
That's what I believe too. Yeah. Yep. So we agree on that. And I believe when we see these two sun photographs, many places around the world, I believe what we're catching is we're catching the misalignment or inability of the sun simulator to cover up the real sun for that, just that moment of time on the horizon. And that's where you see 90% of these photographs.
Yeah, like this one here too. Like this one, someone tried to tell me that it wasn't the same. This wasn't our sun, but I don't know. You know, because you got to realize this has a different shape than this one.
Right?
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was baffled on that because I can't explain to be okay. That's our sun simulator, and that's our.
What do you think it would be like on the Earth right now if they did not supplement the sunlight with the sun simulator on the Earth? What do you think that would be like for people?
As of right now, they will be seeing what I consider alien skies. We'll be seeing like a magenta, purplish, reddish color, sometimes even like a greenish color in the sky, but it will be a very dark, weird sky.
Well, let's go back to that. Remember back about, I think it was a year ago, almost a year ago, back in England, when they had the huge sandstorm come up from the Sahara, which happens sometimes, right?
Yes.
And what happened was they were all of a sudden able to photograph two suns in the sky. But what was even more interesting was it turned very auburn, amber color skies, that alien sky that you're talking about, or deep red skies. And you know why I believe that happened in England during that time?
Why is that?
I believe that the sun simulator and the respective lensing systems were partially inoperative during the sandstorm, and they couldn't operate properly, and that's why they saw what they saw. What do you think?
I think so. I think the main reason why too is, as you said, because the sun simulator couldn't get it. Okay, in my opinion, how the sun simulator is run. Okay, I agree with Jeff P about it running with what we consider a gas chamber as it being that, but my more of it having of what I consider a laser. It's like they have lasers hitting it. So when the sandstorm went in front of the lasers where they couldn't operate anymore, the sun simulator shut off, and we were actually seeing what was up there.
Right, and I think that's why. And I remember that was a huge scare in Europe when they saw that. I mean, it was like everybody freaked out for a day, and then they just went on with their lives. You know, forgot all about it. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen as when these objects do start to get within proximity to the Earth and we start to see debris. I think that debris is going to knock this system out. And I think we're going to have a day where we're going to walk out and the system's off because it's broken. What do you think, Alex?
I think so too. I think one day we're just going to wake up in the morning, we're going to go out and we're just going to see the sky. We're going to be like, I don't recognize this sky. Where am I at? And that's when they're going to realize,
maybe the sky will seem to even roll up.
Yep.
Like the Bible predicts.
Yes, roll up as a scroll.
Yeah. I always wondered about that verse, right? When I first got into this research, I said, well, how would the sky be perceived as being rolled up? I mean, like a sheet or a scroll, right? And when you start to realize the depth of the deception of what our skies really are versus what they really are, right?
Yes.
You could see that if this system turned off, the sky could literally roll up. It could literally look like it's rolling up. And so again, here's Bible prophecy being, seemingly fulfilled before our eyes, Alex.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it is true. But my interpretation was exactly almost like that. But it'll be when it says when the high call where the way we will scroll up, it'll be, my interpretation was going to be that the clouds were going to come down as a scroll, come down right on us, and then they were just going to scroll away from us because this is what was going to bring all the coldness, what's going to freeze everything instantly, was that the clouds were going to come down and then they were just going to go back up as a cloud, they scrolled back up. That's my interpretation. Have you seen these lens arrays?
Yeah, these are the more triangular lens arrays you're showing here.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot. I've been having a lot of people send me a lot of these. They're like, "What
Yeah,
are
we
these?"
see these in Canada all the time too, Alex, right?
Yeah, yes, a lot of them. Matter of fact, they're in. I think these are what we see in all in Canada's FFA webcams.
Yep, that's what I think too. We just showed a couple of those recently as well, and they're getting more and more clear to even to the point where you can see two layers of filament or material being used. It's very interesting.
Yes, and then this right here is supposed to be our so-called moon, but clearly you could tell it's not.
I don't
Here
mean
it
to
is.
laugh. It's just so ridiculous what we've seen. It just every time I see a new picture, it's like, yeah, that's not the moon.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be, but
but then again, when you start taking a look at it, you start seeing, the structure of it and all. Like, I don't remember seeing my moon look like that.
no, no.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot. I've been getting a lot of these. And then, oh, what I want to let everybody know now is, okay, how can you have a lens flare up here? That's another object. Look at that.
Again,
That's
I think we might be looking at the real
the
sun and the
sun.
sun simulator again here, Alex.
Yeah,
And I think that's from time to time, it's just not aligned right. Right.
but then again, you have this right here. Then you have this. It could be where it's pinching out of the cloud. Out of the clouds. There's a hole right here.
Right.
But I don't know. But you have it right here. This is where the person said they saw it, and then they started taking pictures of it.
Hey, do Alex and I have irrefutable proof that there's a sun simulator and that what we're looking at is the sun and sun simulator? No, that's not what we're saying. We're looking at observations from our friends, people that we've made friends with in this community, and we're trying to make sense out of it, guys. So if you've got a better idea, let us know in in the comment section. I mean, I'm open, but oh my God, how does it get any more artificial light than that?
I know. Look at this.
Come on, guys.
And you can actually see how you call a hexagon lens array up here.
Yeah.
Here's more. There, look at this again. Come on.
I think another reason that they might use the sun simulator too, Alex, is because it not only to kind of balance out the light so that people don't freak out. I also think it has something to do with agricultural food production and food security as well. I think it's a big grow light. Think of it as a big grow light in the sky, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, then I get a lot of people coming at me saying, "Well, there's no way they could power it to that to a level of intensity. There's no power supply that could ever be worked on." Have you guys ever heard of Nikola Tesla?
I have.
Okay. Well, Tesla proved that he could draw energy out of the ionosphere of the Earth by looking just basically by taking the difference of potential that exists at the different levels of our ionosphere or our atmosphere and then basically creating circuits, right? So what they did in the early 80s and WSO is sitting on a mountain of documents from the DoD on this, okay? They considered and built what's called the Space Powering System, the SPS. It was part of the Reagan SDI initiative. They were like, well, how are we going to power all these satellites up in space? And also at the same time thinking of how we're going to deploy our sun simulator, right, at that time. And they had a huge design, huge deployment, huge discussion about space power. And the way they generate power in space, guys, is they use the methods designed by Nikola Tesla. The same way that he was getting electricity by creating a difference of potential in Colorado Springs between the top of the mountain and the difference of the electrical potential between him and the ground and the top of that mountain. He was able to generate electricity right from the magnetosphere of the Earth. And that is exactly how I propose that they are generating enough power to build a sun simulator. That's my theory.
Yep, I agree.
And we've got the documents. You've seen them, Alex. You're on this email.
Hey, I got the document. The only documents how many PDF files were on this subject, like 155. I'm like, that's a good read.
So Alex gets copied on all the scientific data. We have like a little background scientific data sharing that we do. And Alex has been copied on all these documents.
Yeah. Okay, with the photograph I'm sharing right here with you and subscribers is a reason why I love this one a lot is because you can't have two different light sources. Well, you can't have one up here and one down here unless this is the moon, but that's not the moon.
Nah, the moon's not likely at that time of day to create that kind of light. But again, what do you think? I think it's the simulator on top. I think the whiter light is the simulator, and the orange light is that's what our Earth would look like during that time if there was no simulator.
Yeah, I agree.
It would be a scary auburn, orange, red sky and atmosphere. It would just be weird as can be. You know what I mean?
I think everyone will probably wake up and think that the Earth was on fire.
I think that's possible too. And there's many prophecies that talk about that too. When in fact we're not, we're holding our own, it seems like right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it seems like we're holding our own at this point.
So yeah, like I said, I get nothing but simulators. They just try to show me that.
Pop back one. Go back one frame. Go back 2 frames now. That one. Do you see the little rainbow in the upper right or upper left rather, and then how it spreads out see? So that's anybody that's been in electronics like me and people that have worked on CRT tubes. We all know the little, 3 dots back in the old days, back when you had the CRT TV. You could put your eyeball right up to the TV and you could see the 3 little dots. Well, that's how the whole thing worked. It was worked on 3 monochromatic dots. And that is exactly what we see when we see these refractions. I keep asking, what are these refractions? What are these refractions? Well, I got the answer now. They've got a huge planetarium-like projector up there.
So, okay, if it's a projector and that's happening, so, okay.
Right there.
I know. I'm not jumping off the ship, but.
Yeah. Anybody that looks at this picture, it should give you pause. If you know anything about how projection light works, how TVs work, how any of that stuff works, you would be able to look at this photograph and say, there is a major problem here. Alex, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, what I'm trying to say is that, so if there's a projector, what we consider a planetarium projector up there, okay, that could throw in what we consider Project Bluebeam now in there, because they said they were going to use something like that to, throw stuff up there.
Every flat Earth person just sat up in their seat just now, Alex, just so you know.
Oh, man.
They've been talking about Bluebeam, and I agree. I think there is a Project Bluebeam.
I really do believe there's a Project Bluebeam. They're using holograms on us. They're using 7D holograms, and nobody understands what 7D holograms are. 7D, there's a difference between 3-dimensional and 7D. 3-dimensional is right there in front of you. You can see it. It's right there. But a 7D hologram is where you can actually go up to it and touch it.
And they've demonstrated, like in some, if you go out on YouTube, guys, you could go look up 7D holograms, and you'll see what Alex is talking about. It will freak you out.
Yep.
I mean, it's real. It looks real, man. It looks like a dinosaur or whatever they're trying to project. Add that in now. Let's stay on this rabbit trail for a second. So you got the Bluebeam visual deception technology that we've studied over the last couple of years. Now we're finding out that they have electromagnetic stuff, vis-a-vis, i.e. MK Ultra, right? Which is the old, who knows what it's called now, but where they actually know how to transmit frequencies to human brains that will evoke emotional responses. Right? They can get you overactive sexually. They can get you angry. They can get you there's all these different layers of stuff that they can use to deceive us, right?
Yes.
So the reason I thought this was a good trail for you and I to go down, don't for a minute think that Alex Lujan and Steve Olson are not aware of Bluebeam and not aware of MK Ultra. Okay? We're aware of it. Thank you. We are very aware of it. And we are constantly wondering, when we get photographs from subscribers, I keep wondering, is this Bluebeam or is this really a planet? Do you get that same question, Alex?
You know what? Yeah, because I always get the question. This is the main question I always get all the time. I'm pretty sure you get this a lot. I'm pretty sure all the Planet X researchers get this. Why is it that we only get to see it in photographs, but we can't see it in real life?
Oh, that's an easy one to answer. Can I take a crack at it?
Go ahead.
Go take your digital camera and your remote control of your TV, okay? And you will notice that when you film the remote control and you push the buttons on the remote, like you actually change channels with it or whatever you do with it, you'll notice that a little light will go beep, 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 beep. You'll actually see the light in the digital photograph. You ever notice that, Alex?
Yeah.
All you guys can do this experiment at home yourself. Can you see that with your eyes when you take the digital camera away? No, you cannot see it. It's infrared. Why did you see it on camera, but you did not see it with your eyes? Because all digital cameras, or most digital cameras, pick up just a little bit of IR and pick up just a little bit of UV on both sides of the visual light spectrum. It's a fact. It's indisputable. It's undebatable. Okay? That's why we see things with cameras that we don't see with our eyes.
There, you answer their question.
Yeah. Because cameras pick up a little bit of IR. And that's why, like, when you see a picture like this, to me, this screams projected sky. This screams simulator sun. This screams lens arrays. That's what it screams to me.
It screams to me too. Parabolical mirrors. It screams like we're saying lens arrays. Everything right there. Exactly what Star Miller was talking about. What she said she saw up there. She said she saw what she considered more being up there was a projection. But that's the main thing she was talking about too, saying that when she saw that, she goes, that's a projection.
Look, I wouldn't have gotten here without Star. I mean, Star's a photographic expert. Her family is a, long time in the imaging and photographic business. I mean, these are experts in photography, okay, and lens flares and all that. She's the one who pulled apart the projector up there. She's the one who pulled that apart. I mean, I give her all the credit. I'm sorry. Just go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, no, it's okay. No, I got one that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, this was the actual photograph right here that they said this was our sun, okay? Supposedly this was our sun, but when they did a little brightness and contrast, this is what they got. You believe that to be our sun?
I don't believe that's our sun, Alex.
I don't believe that. I don't know. There's too much stuff up there already for me not to believe what's up there or what's up there.
Well, this can confuse a lot of people because we're both Planet X researchers, right? And
yes.
I'm Wormwood, you're Planet X, but here, Nibiru, here's the thing, guys. This does not obviate to me the arrival of other cosmic bodies or disprove in any way that other cosmic bodies are close by. All I'm saying is there's a lot of deception out there. We got to be careful.
Yes, that's true.
Not everything's a planet, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get to those photographs right now so I can show you.
Yeah.
Let me see, like right here, you can see all the lens arrays up here. Look at all that. Hexagonal shapes. That's all. They're all over the place now. They can't hide them anymore. Let me see if I can get to it. You remember this photograph? I had this one way back then.
Yeah. This one's a stunner.
I love this one. This
one actually, I have to say that to me looks like an actual planet or moon or object of some sort, Alex. I do not believe that a part of a lensing system.
No. I really do believe this was an actual object that came by, but I don't know if it's still here or if it took off, but this was in 2014.
Again, guys, we're just going back and looking at photographs together and having a discussion about what is going on. What are we learning, right? Are we learning anything, Alex?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot that they had a sun simulator up there without us even knowing. Not only that, they're using all kinds of technology on there just to hide some planetary bodies coming in. And
dude, if you took the SDI thing away in 82, right? 80, 84, whatever that happened, right? When they really was like the big news, SDI, lots of money, billions of dollars, right? When they were deploying all this stuff, that was their cover story, man. That was their cover story. We don't have a space defense system. It's 40 years later. We still don't have one. What happened to all that money? Think about it.
In 1983, or 1984, when Reagan announced that space, what was it? What was it called again? It was Star Wars. Star Wars.
They called it Star Wars, but it was SDI. Was it?
Yeah. So basically, when he announced that, I think that's when they actually started sending everything up there. They already had everything planned out.
Yeah. What do you think all those heavy launches from Cape Canaveral were about? So that they could build the ISS? Please give me a break. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find you. Look have you seen these shield ones? These these ones.
Yeah. Yep.
I love these ones. These are my favorite. When I saw these, I go, heck yeah.
This reminds me of MBB and then what Naughty Beaver was getting into a little bit before he shut his channel down.
There's a lot of technology going up there right now, guys, and a lot of people don't understand what they're seeing up there.
Dude, Naughty Beaver was talking about some crazy stuff, man, before he shut down. Some really intense.
Oh, did you see these?
Oh yeah, where's this from, by the way,
This
Alex?
was UK and United Kingdom.
This was a couple days ago, and it wasn't just this subscriber of yours, but there were literally thousands of people freaking out on the blue light that went across the UK sky.
Yeah.
That's not a small story.
Then I'm on this one right here. Like I told you, I've been working on this one right here. This is a great one.
This is a great one. It is, because you know why? Go ahead and tell us what you think, and then I'll share my thoughts on it.
Okay, mine mainly more. This is where it actually shows that we actually have a lens arraying system out there. Because as I showed you the other still photographs of this, you can actually see the object right here come by, and then only one still frame, and then it leaves, and then you can start seeing the system come by. But my main thing is that it actually shows that we have a lensing system out there, and they're using this big old lens array technology to cloak these objects coming in.
Yeah, and I used to think these were planetary objects, and I would go right along with you on this. After we got those pictures from Buffalo. I don't know if you saw those. I'll show them again. But in fact, here, let me take the screen just for a second. Then I want you to take it right back.